Hello, and welcome to our webinar, talking about the power of one, how OneStream Software changes everything when it comes to deploying a modern finance solution. Just an introduction about MindStream Analytics. We're based in Boston, Massachusetts. We have a North American practice, and we help you with all things analytics and reporting. That includes advanced analytics, such as predictives or machine learning analytics, financial transformation, and also within best practices, whatever your specific vertical may be. We also have a managed services practice. It's recognized by MSP Mentor as one of the top managed services practices in the world, and we're very, very proud of some of our awards, including Inc.'s fastest growing companies, and awards from Performative and another number of other sources. So let's get right into it. The challenges of finance these days is that you have different business processes that come up through the accounting and the controller, and as well as the financial planning and analysis. And these two streams of business process get data from many, many different sources. In fact, over the years, a number of different software solutions have come into place to address the tasks that you're trying to perform as a company. And what ends up happening is, as you have all these different systems in place to address these different pieces of the puzzle, you have to end up moving data from place to place to place. And each one of these little green arrows represents a place that you might have to push data around and go through the pains of reconciliation or go through the pains of data transformation. And it can be quite cumbersome, and it can belabor your closing process. It can slow down your reporting. And if there are data quality issues, it can really restrict your analysis and your ability to make good decisions. So what we're trying to do is come up with a way to address all those business processes that you have to perform in closing your books, in planning and budgeting, in forecasting, and do that with a smart method of addressing this sort of data movement. And the best way that we've come up with is the one model, the one version of the truth. And it's a very elegant solution, because in terms of deployment, now you only have to deal with a single software vendor. You're not dealing with multiple licenses and keeping track of the different licensing that you have, the support that you have with each one of these different vendors. And at the end of the day, it allows you to create sort of a center of excellence around a single product instead of developing multiple best practice against many products. So let's kind of talk about the underlying technology. The folks behind OneStream are actually people who are well known in the industry. They've been around for years, and they are people who created two very, very well-known software products. One is Bob Powers, who worked for Hyperion and Oracle for years, and he was the inventor of HFM, which is Hyperion Financial Management. The other is Tom Shea, who was behind what used to be known as Upstream Software, and is the creator of what is now known as FDM and FDM-EE, which is a major business-friendly data integration platform. And then let's talk about the sort of value of the product itself. What they're addressing here is extensible finance, and that is, for each one of your data sets, you can extend them to capture and report on the data that you need, but in some cases, you don't need to include all that data or detail into what you happen to be reporting on. So it's allowing you to go down to the level that you need to, but only report on the levels that you need to, maybe higher up or at the same level that you're collecting data. So if we look about the secret sauce, The bottom layer here is that data quality layer. And as I mentioned before, moving your data from place to place to place can be half the battle. And doing the reconciliation, the data quality analysis, and getting everybody sort of on the same page has been a challenge for years and years. And because of their FDM background, they have a great book of history around the data quality movement. And if we run up the side and look at financial consolidation and reporting, that's also a place. HFM was really created in order to help you with the close, help you with statutory and GAAP compliance, and get your books out faster to your stakeholders. On the other side, we have the budgeting, forecasting, and planning process, which, as you know, may have different levels of detail than the financial close. You might have salaries, you might have capital expenditures in there, you might have cash planning and things of that nature. And then on the top, very often, you require a different set of products to do the reporting on all this and bring all that data together. So this product allows you to have a single solution that lets you go to Microsoft Office, lets you go to printed reports, and lets you build dashboards without having to go to any sort of third-party solution to present that. And the nice thing is in the middle, you have the equivalent of an app store. You have the XF Marketplace, which lets you bring in extra additions to the product, things like account reconciliations, your tax reporting, the cash flow modules, capital planning modules, workforce planning modules, and so on and so forth. So it really allows you to have a single solution to all the different tasks that you have to perform within the CFO's function and below. Another nice topic that we should talk about is as people go back and forth between the on-premise world and the cloud world, OneStream doesn't force you to make a decision whether it's a cloud product or an on-premise product. The reality is it works both, and you can deploy it either way. You don't have to make the choice between how your product is infrastructure, because it allows you to put them out as one or the other and actually move them back and forth easily between the two different environments, which from a testing and planning perspective really works out well for you. And it also is very, very economical on the budget if you don't want to go out there and buy a bunch of hardware in order to run it. You can just put it up in the cloud and run just fine. So let's talk about the sort of secret sauce here. The way that this works is each one of your data groups, your dimensions, if you will, have different needs. And in order to meet those different needs, you have to take advantage of this benefit called Extensible Dimensionality. And what this allows you to do is to designate what your different groups in the organization's data level is. So let's say we have a standard corporate chart of account, and it includes net sales, operating sales, intercompany, and return. And that's pretty standard for most of you on your P&L. If you have a couple of different divisions, and maybe one of them is in manufacturing, and they'll have some additional level of detail underneath operating sales. Maybe they'll have your different channels or your different products or your different pieces of the puzzle that are involved in the manufacturing process. Let's say also you have a services department, right? And for there, you might decide that you want to have different products or tracks that have the revenue. This extensible dimensionality allows you to have the different pieces depending on which business unit you're dealing with. And then it takes it another step further. Say you budget at a different level than you do collect your actual. You can also go in and you can add some additional level of detail that you can do your budgeting with that allows you to collect at a lower level, but then aggregates up to that same top level that you have at your corporate standard. So your operating unit can do their actuals and budgeting at the level of detail that they want to see, but you're still in compliance at the top for GAAP, for external reporting, for any of your stakeholders. And you can all do it within a single application. If you look at the other solutions out there, they force you to choose between a budgeting only or a consolidations only. Very few places allow you to do it in all one single product. So it sounds complicated, doesn't it? Is it really this easy? Well, most of the functionality that you're getting is that best-of-breed software developed by Bob Powers and Tom Shea. So as I mentioned earlier, data integration, a lot of the integration worries that you have had to deal with in the past that you've relied on your IT departments to help you solve is now out of the box, and it's easy to use. It's so simple that you don't require extra programming. It's oriented towards a business user can put the integrations together. Quality management. In the old world, when you were moving data from place to place to place, data quality could become a problem. Now, by having it all in one place, your management's obviously improved, but they also have tools within the data integration platform that help you with data quality. The consolidation, like I said, Bob Powers was the creator of HFM. He knows about as much as financial consolidation reporting as anybody on the planet. And all that capability is in this product. Another nice thing is predictive modeling. When you look at the future trends of predictive analytics, machine learning, having the computer processor use your past performance and your future indicators to come up with these models for you instead of employing old methods like zero-based budgeting or actuals plus. This is allowing you actually at a micro level to get into predictions based on trends, predictions based on past performance, and it's all AI driven. Obviously, the budgeting, forecasting, and planning are all built into the system, and they're extended by these pieces, the capital planning, cash flow planning, workforce planning that you get within the XF marketplace. One of the nicest things is variance explanation. Variance explanations follow the data. In a lot of solutions out there, when you start reporting your variances from actual to budget or actual to forecast, what you'll see is at the variance explanation only follows that particular intersection. But the nicest thing about OneStream is that those explanations will trickle up, and you'll be able to find those things at a higher level and as you drill down to get into your sort of finer details of the thing. But you don't have to go searching for those variance explanations. They follow your data to higher and higher levels. The financial reporting, as I mentioned before, GAAP compliant, able to go in there and do your statutories, do your GAPs, follow IFRS standards. The new changes that are coming with revenue recognition and accounting for leasing can all be accommodated in this software. You don't have to go back to the drawing board and start reinventing the wheel because it's already built in. And then last but not least, if you're looking to dashboarding is very, very easy in this product. You're basically modeling your dashboards out of your reports that you developed earlier and just running with them. So let's talk about some of the really nice features and functions in here. The end users that you have, the learning curve is very, very low because you can build these guided workflows. And these guided workflows will take them through their job in whatever format you need them to do. And it's based on the role of the person in the company. So your analysts will have a certain set of tasks. Your accountants will have a certain set of tasks. Your controller will have a certain set of tasks that adapts to the review process. And it's based on the function and the tasks that need to be performed. On top of that, if you want to improve your close process and you want to see what's going on and have visibility into the process, there's green, yellow, and red indicators that show you the step-by-step and who is on top of it, who might be lagging behind or having trouble. These indicators help you address problems as you go through your financial reporting or your budgeting and forecasting process to help speed the process and get people over roadblocks. It's very, very important to just looking at an efficient finance organization. And then, again, in the user adoption, one of the most amazing things, if anybody ever has a problem with the task that they're performing, there's on-demand training in just about every single task that's out there. So if somebody's new to your organization, or if they just do something only on an annual or quarterly basis and it's not something that they do often, those videos are right there to help them get through what needs to be done. There's really no other products out there that are doing this. There are products that are doing it, but not this integrated, not this seamless, not having you to have a browser open and go to a video that might be showing somewhere else. This is all within the framework of the product. Let's talk about guided reporting. As I mentioned before, the reporting is very powerful. It allows you to also create these dashboards right within the reports themselves. So you're in a situation where you're kind of looking at something that's high graphic content, ability to give you visual indicators of your performance instead of kind of looking through numbers that you would in a spreadsheet. It's actually showing you right then and there what your key performance indicators are and allowing you to kind of drill down from there. Anything that you see here is clickable that will give you that additional level of detail. And then you can even drill back into your source systems if you need to. Depending on what your sources are, you can get adapters for just about everything out there. SAP, NetSuite, Oracle, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards. There's adapters for just about any source system that you might have. For those of you who love to live and die in Microsoft Office, there's dynamic links right into the Office suite. Most often it's going to be used for Excel, but there's also linking into the other Office products, Word, PowerPoint for your presentations, and really allows you to use the product in that comfortable Excel interface if that's the way you feel most comfortable using the product. And then, as I mentioned before, the dashboards are very, very powerful, very robust. They're based on your reports. Again, you're not taking your data out of your system and putting them into a separate dashboarding process. It's right there within the same product. And you can use them however you see fit. They're easily customizable, and you can deploy them for any sort of roles that you need. So it's not just for executives. It can be used at the operational level. It can be used up and down the line for your analysts, as well as just people who are a budget manager who are checking their actual results against their budget or forecast. Let's talk about mobile. Another piece of the puzzle is that sometimes if you want to deploy your applications on a mobile, you'll need yet another system, yet another software product in order to make your application mobile friendly. But OneStream is native HTML5. There's no third-party software needed to make it mobile. You can do just about anything that you want to do within the product right from your smart device, whether that be a phone or a tablet. There's no apps to download. It's all native, so it's also the integrated security within the product. So just once you log in, you can do the same things that you did on the regular product. There's no additional configuration, needs for additional administration. It just works the same way on your mobile device that it does on your desktop. And last but not least, you can literally conduct your workflow and your administration from anywhere. This allows you, if you are a global organization, you can have this ability to do this 24/7 sort of running of tasks. You have great scheduling ability, so you can do these things hands-free. But if you ever need to have some sort of interdiction with the system, you can do it from just about anywhere, as long as you have security access to the system. So one of the really nice things about dealing with OneStream is their commitment to 100% customer success. And they've been able to go out there and just pour away and make sure that what you need out of your product is delivered. So it's really, really hard to find a company like that that is that committed to your success. This is not just, getting the software and being happy with it. They want you to be overjoyed. They want you to be the customer who is referenceable. And if you look at the screen, every single one of these companies is referenceable. And if you need to, we can provide you the contact information. You can call them up and you can ask their CFO, how do they like using OneStream? And they will tell you. If they're not overjoyed, they're not going to be a great reference. Every single one of OneStream's customers is a great reference. You won't see that anywhere else with any other software company. So let's talk about where they are in the marketplace. The 2017 Gartner Magic Quadrant came out, and OneStream was listed as one of the visionaries. Now, of course, they're not up here in the great beyond where you're seeing a lot of the big players that you already know. But OneStream is new, and it's going to take them a while to move from the visionary status up into the leader status. So you're getting on board something that's it's not that they're reinventing the wheel. A lot of this process has been done before with Hyperion Financial Management and with upstream FDM, but it's being brought to you now as part of OneStream software. As you can see, in the completeness of the vision category, OneStream's just as far up there, even past Oracle, right? Even past the other products that are out there. So it's their small company status that is really kind of putting them down in this quadrant. But you can expect that in a couple of years, they're going to be up here in the leaders. So why should you choose OneStream? Just to summarize, well, it's that movement of data. It's getting the data from place to place. Now it's in all one place. It's one version of the truth. The data integration issues are minimized, and that helps you minimize things like reconciliation. That helps you minimize things like the administration that needs to be performed. If you have 4 different software products, you might have 4 different administrators. Now with one, you just need one. As I mentioned before, it's very easy to extend the dimensionality. So what is needed for corporate financial reporting may not be the same for budgeting and forecasting. You can extend out the detail so you get what you need for the business unit or for the category of data that you're collecting. At the end of the day, not having a whole bunch of different software products is going to lead to a lower total cost of ownership, less data integration, less admins, less software costs because you have less software that you're owning and maintaining. And then the flexibility to have this be an on-premise solution or the cloud, or be able to deploy them back and forth as you see fit. The migration back and forth is very, very easily, very, very comprehensive. You're not trading any feature or function gaps between the two products. It runs the same way in the cloud as it does in your data center. So let's talk a little bit about MindStream. We're all U.S. based. There's no offshoring. You're not going to be getting sort of a bait and switch with who your staff is. You're going to see a person that is your person, and they're going to help you get from point A to point B. We're an incredibly innovative company. We've got award-winning solutions. We've been recognized by CFO, Performative, MSP Mentor, the Inc. 5000 list. There's just we were just elected into the Boston Business Hall of Fame for our category of business analytics. So we're really being recognized from all around the country and globally for what we're bringing to market here. Another nice thing about the MindStream staff is that the people are cross-trained between both the technical world and the finance world. So they understand your business issues, they understand the problems that you're trying to solve, and they know how to apply technology to solve them. Another thing that I mentioned earlier is that you have a tremendous amount of expertise across verticals. So whether you be in manufacturing or transportation or services or telecom or pharmaceuticals, we have people who have expertise in your domain and can help you employ the best practices that other companies in your industry are using, and to leverage those best practices so you get a very, very efficient and comprehensive system that's going to help you with your close. It's going to help you with your budgeting and forecasting. It's going to help you have a streamlined and effective finance department. So here's my offer to you. I know it's kind of a long pitch, but what we would like you to do is, if you think after what you've seen today that you can benefit from having one solution that's powerful enough yet simple enough to address these issues within your organization, we will come and work with you and do a quick whiteboarding session. And that means we'll take a look at what you're using now and how we could effectively replace it or augment it. If you like some of the software that you're using now, we can use OneStream to make it better, right? We're not necessarily going to replace everything that you do, but we can take everything you do and make it better. So thank you very much for attending. If you have any sort of questions, please let us know on the question and answer link, and we'll be happy to get back to you. And thank you very much for attending today's webinar.